All right, well, I'm Savannah, and I grew up in the church. One day, I was talking to my friend. I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, I want to ask Jesus into my heart. And she was like, me too. So I went home. I didn't even talk to my parents. And I went in my room, and, I just was like, hey, I know I'm a sinner, and, I want you to come into my heart and be my Lord and Savior. And, I know it's more than just a prayer that does it. I definitely meant it in my heart. I think for me, where I really struggled was middle school and high school. I had some girls start rumors about me that weren't true, that weren't appropriate. And it was hard to figure out, where to fit in. I had to end some friendships with some girls just because I came to the point where I realized they weren't true friends because they continued to pick on me. And some of those girls I was involved with at youth group. I was blessed to find some friends that were consistent, but that didn't mean that the pain just stopped from the other people. They continued to treat me in unkind ways throughout high school. So I was ready to go to college. When I got to college, I had girls who would share with me and open up, and, I appreciated that, but I still I can't because I don't know what they're gonna do or what they're gonna think. By the time I graduated, all my friends moved away, and I stayed in Lynchburg, which I know many people do, and I went to work. I was at a point in my life where I didn't really have any friends around. I was living in Lynchburg after graduating from Liberty University. I had a cousin who was visiting churches, and so I was going to Blue Ridge with her. And then she moved, and I was like, well, I kind of like it. I'll just keep going. One day, I was just walking in, and this girl was like, hey, I like your dress. Just something really simple. And I was like, thanks. And she was very extroverted and was like, do you need anyone to sit with you? And I was like, sure, because I was just going by myself. So I went in with her, and then she was actually meeting a friend. And so the three of us sat together. Their names were Chloe and Rachel invited us to a life group. And I just started to build a friendship with Chloe. It's kind of funny because I always felt uncomfortable sharing my story with people, especially outside of girls my age. I always felt like God would use it for something at some point to help somebody. So I'm just gonna get kind of deep and vulnerable here. I struggled with, setting boundaries with guys in relationships. And, I was stuck in some habitual sin for about a year. It was actually the year I started going to Blue Ridge. When I met my friend Chloe, some things involved a shared friend of ours, and we kind of had this little group of friends, just the two of us and a couple guys. A couple things happened, and I had to share with her. I didn't really feel like I had a choice. I needed to tell her. It was really uncomfortable for me. I was still really scared, what would she think? Would she judge me? Would she not want to be my friend anymore? Would she say something unkind to me? Once I shared with her, her reaction was not what I expected. She was loving and she was gentle. And I was like, are we still friends? And she, reassured me that we were still friends. She addressed that what I did was not right. And, she explained God's grace to me. Not only could I get grace from God, but my friend was able to give me grace too and steer me in the right direction towards Christ. When I started going to Blue Ridge in 2019, that's when I learned that I really had a need for community. So plugging into women's life was a great option for me. And I was like, I might find some women around my age, but also I think it would be great to have women older than me that can mentor me. And that's how I met Crystal George. Then I joined a discipleship group with her, and then I co-led with her, and then I led a table on my own, and now I'm co-leading a table. Chloe invited me to go hiking with some people from the Young Professional Life group with Thomas Road. I was able to build some new friendships and connections to be in a place now where I have just this plethora of friends and people that I know I can trust, versus when I was younger and I constantly had friends hurting me. If I hadn't taken that little leap and stepped outside my comfort zone, I don't think that I would have all these people in my life that are pouring into me, but also I don't think I'd be in a place where I'm leading others.